Hey.
I could do the submitting this week.
Okay. I had sent, Hannah's not gonna be able to make this meeting because she's at work. So she had sent me her stuff and I forwarded that to Amanda, but I can send that to whoever wants to put it together.
Okay.
So we're just missing Katie and Hannah. Is that everybody?
Looks like it, yep.
Okay. I went ahead and started recording just to be safe. We'll give her another few minutes since she missed the first one and see if she logs on.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Does somebody maybe want to text her?
Yeah.
I think I don't have the phone right here. I think she posted in the group her number.
I have Hannah's number.
There you go. I've got it for you when you're ready.
Okay.
It's
Hold
a 917-723-4322.
Said 917.
Yeah, 917.
All right. All right. I just texted her and said that we are starting so she can join in.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
So do y'all have any kind of preference on which one we choose? I don't know if anybody's done any additional research. I know myself and Hannah have.
Yeah, I started to do a little, but I was waiting to see what we chose before digging in too far so
Yeah.
as not to waste time. But I think, just me personally, being a nurse, I think that the nursing ratios would be easy for me to come up with a lot of material. So that's the one I prefer.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just, let's see, I can pull up Hannah's stuff. On that one, like, do y'all, obviously, we'll just kind of go through the questions. I'm assuming that everyone's on the same page, that it's going to be the hospitals and the nurses, obviously, that are affected.
Right.
Yeah.
I put some numbers to that. I kind of did some research on them. And Mandy, I don't know if you had done any numbers to that, but I had gotten about 4,500 hospital employed LPNs, and there's about 106 hospitals kind of registered in Louisiana. That's not including like inpatient acute cares or anything like that. I think you're on mute, Mandy. I think you're on mute.
sorry, my kids. I was getting home with my kids. So, no, I do not have those specific numbers. So that's great.
Okay, I can send those out.
Yeah, I had come up with 57% of Louisiana nurses work in a hospital, and as of 2012, there were 51,609 active licensed RNs. So maybe we can use that to research further, what the ratios are.
So I guess we need to decide, are we gonna be doing RNs and LPNs together as our ratios? Are we gonna be doing them separately, or are we just doing one or the other?
I would say one or the other.
I would think you probably need to do RNs only because like more limited for LPNs. So RN, what like a little bit that I've researched on it, it does seem like the ratios are typically like historically for other states, it is specific to RN.
Specific to RNs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe we could do, I know there is like later down the road in the project, you have to do some alternatives. So maybe we incorporate LPN versus RN in that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
As far as that goes. Because I think, and I know what we're kind of, I'm assuming going to narrow everything down to hospitals.
Yeah, I think that would be easier. I mean, I know a lot of long-term care has the same issues, but not as severe as like a hospital setting where you have different specialties, the ICU, the med surge, and that kind of thing.
Right. I agree. I think we could definitely find some stuff, because I kind of actually stumbled upon a pretty good link that actually laid out, Hannah, like everyone that had either nursing ratios and laws and who had like sort of, and it was a good link, and I can share it with the group. You might have found it.
So for project definition, I'll spruce it up, but just to be vague, I put our statistics, and then I just wrote, that we will be focusing on active licensed RNs in a hospital setting. We'll focus on LPNs later in the project. Who is affected? That's going to be RNs. Why is there a problem? That was one of the questions.
I had put there that the problem was due to increasing number of inpatient hospital patient days.
And I think also to add to that is the acuity of patients. So
right.
Acuity is a huge reason, and then the length of stay, because of how payers are now and wanting to kind of kick people out as fast as possible. There's never like that like tail end of those stays where they're not as critical, and so then you're always having that critical, like higher acuity level patient on unit because of that. So
right, so you're not having as much like ebb and flow where you're having, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could definitely put that.
And then we need to come up with a team name, or is that one of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are one of the
objectives? Team name.
That's what
I asked my 13-year-old son, and he said the policy people. So we can go with.
That sounds like a bad boy band from the 80s.
Yeah, it does.
I'm good with whatever the team wants. We can let your son name us. I'm okay with that.
I'm totally okay with it too.
All right.
If I were creative, I wouldn't be getting a master's of healthcare administration. So clearly that's not not my strong suit.
Yep, that's about right.
I think I don't know if y'all have gone through her slides or listened to her videos yet, but when she was kind of discussing like defining the problem, she had mentioned not to put the solution to the problem in the problem itself. So I mean, she was given some pretty simple examples. And so for D, I had just said that our problem is there are too many inpatient patients relative to clinical nursing staff available. And that's kind of the overarching vague problem, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but Ladaria, was that you that had mentioned you'll compose it this week?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'll do it.
And I'll send that to you because I just kind of broke it down like she did on her part. So,
Okay.
I mean, I'm okay if we stick with this one. I don't know if anybody has an overarching opinion.
How about the nurses being overworked?
I mean, yeah, we can obviously bring that in to, fatigue and burnout. You could relate that to turnover, you could address lots of problems there.
Yeah, I think you could really expand on this in a lot of different directions where you could get a lot of material.
Yeah, I was afraid.
Problem.
I think she kind of pointed out in our feedback that kind of what I was worried about the Medicaid, that it was so broad that the government can't figure that out. I'm not sure how we would do it in 6 weeks.
Yeah, really. That is true.
It is certainly a problem. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with doing number 2 if everybody else is, and then that gives us a lot of opportunities for other examples.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of thinking big picture down the road. I don't want to get us too narrow and not have enough to write about.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think there's a lot too with like retaining nurses. I know one of the things that a lot of people say is that you put ratios, you need more nurses, but if you're not overworked, if you have less acuity patients, then you have the potential to retain more nurses. So I think we can look at that too, like in the future as we go down. And Levis, that may have been where you were kind of getting at with the overwork thing too. Like it may prevent overworking, so it'll retain more nurses. So
Yeah, and it would be interesting to see too, magnet versus non-magnet hospitals, if that makes a difference with the ratios, just as far as, different kind of leadership, particularly pertaining to our degree here, where, we kind of have to argue both sides. We have to argue the business side of it too, as well as the frontline staff point of view.
To explain kind of what you're talking about when you say magnet hospital, I'm not, I guess, familiar with that.
So up in Pennsylvania, we have a magnet credentialed through the ANCC, where you have, it's usually like a 5-year goal that hospital or health system sets, where they have to reach certain measures to become a magnet designated hospital. So it's all in protection of nursing, and to have high quality, highly educated or specially certified nurses, empathy, civility, customer service. So the goal is to have this magnet designation, then that shows the public that your hospital is setting the bar or the gold standard for care compared to other hospitals that don't have this designation. So typically the magnet hospitals will have better retention rates. They treat their nurses better. They pay their nurses better. There's more clinical ladder ability for their nursing staff. So I'm just wondering if those hospitals have better ratios compared to, different health systems in the state, in the nation.
And that may be something we can bring up as like an alternative solution, is that we implement that in Louisiana, because that's not a thing that I'm aware of. I mean, it sounds very similar, to kind of the 5-star rating CMS deal, but just for nursing.
yeah, there's a couple hospitals in New Orleans who are magnet. There's actually 3 that I know of in New Orleans, but I don't know about like the rest of the state.
I'm not aware of any in North Louisiana, so.
Well, that's good. That might give a lot of opportunity to research then.
Yeah, that's good.
Right in there.
And then,
Should we do VA too, or no?
The VA. Yeah, because, I mean, we could. I think we could probably, you know, keeping the focus on the hospitals, we could also use different examples as well. You know, VA centers, long-term care, maybe in a smaller way, but just to compare them in general, you know, more vaguely.
All right.
Sure. I mean, where I'm from, the VA is the hospital is not the best reputation. The long-term care facilities have good, but not the hospitals. So,
Yeah, same
and I
here.
think that's just Northwest VA. I'm not sure how many VAs are down south with Mandy.
Honestly, I feel like mostly we ship them up there to y'all.
Northwest, yeah. They have, so I guess we pretty much answered our questions. I guess we can kind of, all the little numbers that we've put in, we can just send it to Ladaria. And then if you, we may want to look at how exactly she wants us to do the problem definition itself. Because it's in the videos as well. So she's kind of specific about that and just making sure it's not answering the question, answering the problem. So
You're talking about the PowerPoint, the video that she posted?
yeah, she posted the video where she's talking about the PowerPoint, and then she actually posted the slides themselves separately.
Okay. Do you want us, Ladaria, to email you like a problem definition, then you can summarize into one, and then shoot it out to us, I guess, so we can all, you know, just take a look before you post it, maybe?
Correct. Yes, that's fine.
I think that's kind of what we did last time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can send it on. Mandy, are you okay with that?
I'm totally fine with that. Yeah. Are we sticking with Louisiana? Is that the state we're choosing?
Mhm.
That's the one we proposed, so I think we should stay with it.
Okay.
And we'll send it to your Yahoo address, the one you posted. Okay.
Yeah, we'll send it to you. And then I'll send you Hannah's and mine, so you can kind of look at all of them and compile them into one.
Yeah.
We have, do we want to try to shoot for Thursday of next week? Just so we can get Hannah in there as well, because I think she works on Wednesdays.
May 30th. Okay. Yeah, that should work.
Thursday's actually better for me next week, so that would be good.
Ladaria, how about you?
Yeah, that's good. I just had to turn around and look at my calendar.
You're so dedicated doing it at work. I'm impressed.
Oh, you're at work? Nice.
Yes, I'm still at work.
Levis, Thursday's okay?
I'm good with Thursdays.
Cool. Katie never did respond, huh, Jocelyn?
No, not yet. No.
Okay.
So
Well,
we'll
I
just
guess
keep it 8, same time.
Yeah, same time is fine with me.
Okay.
I think that gives everybody a little bit of time to get home and get their stuff ready and then get after it.
Sounds good.
I'm good with it. Yeah, thanks for volunteering, Ladaria, to put that together. So
No, you're welcome. I'll try to get it out to everyone tomorrow. So we'll do how Mandy did it last week. We just send it out through the email.
yeah,
Okay.
it probably wouldn't hurt. Let's look at kind of next. Let's look at the syllabus and kind of see what our next step is. That way we can maybe go ahead and get some more research done.
Okay.
Because we could probably tackle it a lot better if there's everybody doing it.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Now that we've drilled down a topic, it should be, I think it'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like stakeholders are going to be the next topic for next week. So I think we start looking at who's going to benefit, who's involved. Maybe we come up with some bullet points on how it's going to benefit. Since we claim it affects hospitals and nurses, we probably should also claim it affects patients.
Patient care, right?
Those are the people involved. So patients, hospitals, nurses, and then maybe we just all touch on some bullet points on those as stakeholders and get some research.
I think that's a great idea.
Yep, sounds good.
'Cause
Yep.
I'm sure Google brings us something different for all of us, so hopefully we'll get some different numbers, hopefully.
Okay.
Awesome. Great.
All right.
Well, I think
Thanks,
we're
guys.
productive. Y'all have a great evening.
Yep, you too.
Thank y'all.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.